YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we back in between the ropes, man. Fresh off an episode of WWE Raw. Look, more content is on the way, man. If you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, please do so. Got the full live reaction up there. We can watch along with me. We're going to be doing a lot more of those. We got a schedule developed. I just dropped it. We're going to be dropping plenty of content that way. So if you want to join the community, please do so. If you'd like to support, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we're keeping the business as usual this way. A lot of early access content, full watch alongs, all that heading over there. And I would love to get y'all's opinions and at least join the chat. Let's have a conversation about the things you want to see me drop YouTube and on Patreon. I do want to see kind of a lot in the wrestling world, movies, TV show. I mean, I want to get hip. Y'all provide some input. Anyways, we gonna get into it. Let's get it. So, fresh off of an episode of WWE Raw, the show opens up with CM Punk talking about the many things that he's done since his return. And one of the things that's been eluding him has been the World Championship. And he's ready to make amends for the time that they've been missing out on one another. He's got one person standing in his way, and that one person is GUNTHER, the ring general, GUNTHER. GUNTHER comes out there and says the same things that we heard him say to every last challenger. How he's going to beat you down, drop you like a wet towel, all this other foolishness. Going to literally, brother, you almost lost to Pat McAfee. I don't want to hear anything about anyone. I mean, CM Punk even makes a big deal about how he's not even sure if he's going to be able to make this match because he hasn't had enough time to prep it. So, Pat McAfee hasn't wrestled. And he wrestled against GUNTHER. I don't, like, again, they've done such a terrible job of GUNTHER. I don't believe anything he says. Whether or not it's menacing, whether or not he says it with conviction. At the end of the day, if we have to look at your track record, it's not someone who's supposed to be regarded as a dominant champion. Brother, I'm not upset that you fought against Pat McAfee, but the fact that he was able to go toe-to-toe with you for a nearly 20-minute match, and you had Goldberg putting together a 20-minute... Like, what are we doing, bro? A 70-year-old Goldberg? Like, this is just... Tozawa, like, if we had to really look at his last few matches, bro, why should we care? But yeah, these guys didn't really get to go back and forth like I thought they would have, so it kind of seems like a wasted opportunity. Gunther just drops the mic on this guy, and that's it. We then get our first match of the day, which is SHEAMUS and RUSEV. This was definitely hard-hitting. I'm not mad at it. It's just two guys beating the heck out of each other. If you check out my live reaction, this was a moment in the match where I was just confused. And for some strange reason, I don't know if it was like RUSEV trying to ensure that SHEAMUS wouldn't get out of the hold or whatever it was. But this dude continued to like rake the face or rub the face. I don't even, it was like it was just rubbing sweat on this dude's SHEAMUS. I don't understand what he was trying to do. But anyways, we had a repeat of the turnbuckle moment where the referee just continues to watch RUSEV undo the turnbuckle and try and gain the upper hand by slamming SHEAMUS into it. Yet this time, SHEAMUS counters. And while the referee fixes the turnbuckle, RUSEV grabs SHEAMUS' shillelagh, an opportunity to end this guy once and for all, and eats a bro kick. The referee pops up off the turnbuckle and is like, oh, snap, I didn't know you were going for a pin. And normally these are situations that doesn't lead to a pin, but it actually does. SHEAMUS wins. Not going to be too mad at it. The referee ruling is just forever goofy. There's never really any concrete ruling. I guess Triple H retconned this a few months ago, and he said everything's up to the referee's discretion. All in all, this actually wasn't a bad match. One of the stories heading into SummerSlam that I'm really excited about is this AJ versus DOMINIK Mysterio thing. They played up over the last couple of weeks that DOMINIK Mysterio was not truly injured, and this was the day that he was supposed to be medically cleared. So we get so many different cameos of AJ Styles doing a bunch of odd tasks and simply just hiding in the shadows for an opportunity to strike. Like in this moment where he's a janitor and catches the New Day in the middle of their diatribe. And when we thought that the show might have gotten off to a solid start, Triple H reminded us that they had no idea what they're doing backstage. Mind you, the New Day was fresh off of a triple threat match for the #1 contenders match for the tag team championship belts. The New Day, as cocky as they are, thought they were going to waltz in and get another opportunity to regain the belts after they've been mourning over the last couple weeks. Not going to lie, they put together a solid match against American Made and the returning LWO. I say returning because I completely forgot about these guys. LWO actually wins the #1 contenders match due to an interference from El Grande Americano, who suddenly only speaks Spanish. But anyways, back to this moment, Grayson Waller lets them know that he's got the it factor and he's dropped 240 pounds of dead weight. That dead weight is Austin Theory. So 8-town down under is no more. That's what we get. That's what we get. 2 years of build up to these guys. Will he turn? Will he not turn? Will he turn? Will he not turn? Being best friends, saying we'll never turn on each other. To just, yeah, he's injured, so yeah, that's done. This is why everybody gets mad. This is why everybody gets... Y'all that continue to say that this is long-term booking, you're lying to yourself. And we had a build-up for months of the New Day, signifying a break. But little did any of us know that they were going to end up turning on the third partner who wasn't there, Big E. Now, granted, after that moment, did they mention Big E ever again? Not really. So, for months, when we were all trying to figure out why, the New Day never spoke on it. All we did was get backstage scenes of them not being able to enter into the locker room. And now, for 2 years, we were trying to figure out what are they doing with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. This is what we get. 5 seconds. Yeah, hey guys, I'm going to pull the car up, but me and Austin, no more. That's what that culminates in. Just ridiculous. We also did get a Trick Williams promo. Again, he's still our Trick and A champion. Apparently, he's supposed to face off against The Undertaker after what he did against the LFG. I didn't really get to see this promo live, but I did see it right after it happened. Yeah, I'm in the United States. We would get Becky Lynch popping up and showing out. She spits more fire on the mic. Again, I'm not going to lie. Since she's turned, she hasn't really been lying at all. She does mention how selfish Lyra is, and there's a funny jab at her own past because she says, why does anybody even need 2 belts? Like, but not like Becky 2 belts. Like Lyra, though. She's not doing it for the same reasons. We also get introduced to the fact that Becky and Lyra are supposed to be tagging together shortly after for the tag team championships. Lyra is extremely hesitant about this, and she's extremely pissed off with Becky. Becky asks her for a handshake, and obviously that doesn't go well, but it is Lyra who ends up planting her, solely because Becky asked her for a handshake. So Becky eats a manhandle slam. I told y'all Lyra was up to no good. But yeah, the tag team match commences, and I'm not going to lie, this actually wasn't a bad match. There were plenty of near falls, and there was a good enough tension built, I would say, between Becky and, Bayley and Lyra, so that we could ascertain that something was going to go wrong. Unfortunately, as great of a job as they did, it didn't really culminate in anything. It actually ended up with Raquel booting Dominik. And we do get another funny cameo from AJ Styles. They request for medical attention, and AJ Styles is one of the medics. And hilariously, he administers CPR. I guess Becky never left the ring because after she ate that manhandle slam, she waited under the ring for her very prime opportunity to strike and catches Miss Lyra slipping. This eventually leads to Bayley eating a Tejana bomb and Roxanne and Raquel walking away with another W. Again, this is funny, but it was a little strange. Right afterwards, Adam Pearce demands that Dominik Mysterio go see the medic and get cleared. And the medic comes out and is like, well, Dom is not really cleared. I had to go do a couple more tests. And then Dominik attacks AJ Styles from behind. And the medic just watches. And then when Adam Pearce calls the medic just runs over there like he didn't just watch Dominik assault this guy. And Dominik claims himself to be cleared, yet the guy literally just said that Dominik wasn't cleared. Whatever, it's been entertaining. I completely forgot about this feud, but we do get Sami Zayn actually matching up against KROSS and KROSS. There were some solid moments in this match, but KROSS and KROSS versus Sami Zayn, KROSS and KROSS is a bruiser. He's a striker. And, I mean, if there's no story going into a Sami Zayn match, I don't really care to watch him wrestle too much. He has a couple solid moves like the Blue Thunder Bomb, but I don't even think he hit one in this match. Anyways, there was a moment in which KARRION, who continues to kind of just swank around the ring with confidence, as if he doesn't even care about winning, he just solely wants to humiliate Sami and make him hurt. Scarlett gives KARRION the pipe, hey yo, and her slight interference leads to Mr. KROSS striking this dude in the injured ribs / injured belly. I don't know how it happened, but Karrion Kross was apparently leaking by this point, so when he goes in for the pin, you can just see blood just gushing everywhere, and this dude just starts taking it and just starts smearing it all over his face. True sicko. And again, my Patreons were, dude, they just know this dude's face is smeared with blood. He's leaking, and then he just starts kissing Charlotte, and then she starts smearing the blood all across her face. Look, I'm not mad at it, because take advantage of your opportunity to be on TV. You obviously don't know when the next time this may happen. At this point, it's like Karrion Kross is a streamer because he's going for clips. And I don't mean to compare him to that, because obviously there's so much that he can offer a company, but that's it. That's all they can hope for. It's just like a viral moment at this point, because WWE has, and they ain't giving him nothing. I mean, this is like his second match, bro, in a year. So, I mean, make every moment count. Talk about impromptu. We do get a Stephanie VAQUER versus Io Sky match, which is strange. I have no idea why this happens, other than, I guess, just ego. I mean, we literally had Stephanie VAQUER doing a promo backstage about her potential challenger for Clash in Paris, where Naomi comes out, and it's just hilarious. And she's like, "See you in Paris, oui, oui." Even though Stephanie VAQUER doesn't believe that Naomi will be a champion by then. She then catches Io backstage and challenges her. Or Io challenges her, or whatever the case may be. They have an ego off, and while all of us are trying to understand exactly what's going on, they end up having a match. Match is fire, can't lie. But it gets to a certain point where I understand that there is not going to be a winner. Because Sika Hervey show up, and so does Naomi, and so does Chelsea. So there's a moment where, for 1 second, bro, I thought that the heels were going to stand tall, and then silly me, I completely forgot they have Weapon A in the back. They have Rhea Ripley, who just always gets, like, she literally can just do this, rinse and repeat every episode, and the crowd will pop. Just shows up in Rex's house. We then get the Brons and Mr. Paul Heyman, who show up and talk about nothing really, because anything that any of us cared about was seeing our tribal chief in action. He comes out there and lets the world know that Paul Heyman is a snake, and tries to tell the Brons that the same thing's probably going to happen to him. They're going to get stabbed in the back too. Paul Heyman tried to claim Roman Reigns' success, but he really had nothing to do with it. It was all about his family. Paul Heyman at once could have been referred to as a wise man, but now he's an idiot. He's a dumb. We're keeping it PG over here, right? Surprisingly, Braun Breaker actually gets the mic against Roman Reigns and is able to cut a little promo, which makes absolutely zero sense, because after everything that Roman Reigns talking about holding a championship for 4 years, building the bloodline, bringing so many people up under him, and vanquishing everybody that stood in their way, this dude Braun talks about how nobody cares that Roman Reigns is back. If you were paying attention to any part of the show, that is not true. The entirety of the show, I was complaining about the crowd, and then when Roman Reigns shows up, the crowd comes alive. The dude starts saying crazy things like Roman Reigns was only relevant 5 years ago. The dude even calls Roman Reigns worthless. I'm not mad at it. It just doesn't make any sense. Literally everything he said was not true. If you're the future, then okay, well, allow that to be something, but you've been standing beside, or really behind, Seth Rollins, standing beside Bronson Reed for a couple weeks now, not even speaking. Running around like characters that don't even really have any true mission or goals or aspirations of their own. Now you're trying to tell Roman Reigns that he's worthless. long story short, Roman Reigns starts beating these dudes up. Yet, I'm not gonna be mad because at this point in the show, I was like, this actually wasn't too terrible of a show. And then Jey Uso comes out, and look, I'm not mad at Jey Uso coming to save Roman Reigns. I'm just mad because then it reminded me that these guys are probably gonna team up against these two dudes. And again, it doesn't make any sense for me to care about it for SummerSlam since these guys have been getting beaten up any opportunity that there's been for them to fight. What have they won of significance? They may have a couple W's here and there due to disqualifications, due to interferences over the last few weeks. Why should I take them as a team seriously? When, if you pay attention to my, if you're a patron, I think we could have built them up well. I mean, there's plenty of other tag teams who probably could have tried and failed or something like that. But in the meantime of Seth Rollins trying to accomplish his goals, you could have had these guys hold the tag team championships, which would have at least, I think, could have put some pressure or at least shed some light onto the tag team division. Two of these dudes could have absolutely ran through the tag teams in the same way that it was able to ignite what we saw over there on SmackDown when the Bloodline was holding tag team championships, when the Tongans were holding those things. I think we could have seen a similar effect over here if these two dudes were running through tag teams and they were absolute menaces. At the very least, we could have gotten some extra TV time and they could have meant something. Because on Raw, we're about to legitimately get the Judgment Day versus LWO. Dude, I literally forgot about the LWO. They haven't been on TV in weeks. I mean, I don't know. If these dudes are going to just team up in SummerSlam, then it just is what it is. Roman Reigns has never apologized to Jey Uso yet, and Jey Uso doesn't seem to look like he cares about that apology anymore. So if he doesn't care, I don't care anymore either. So that left me on a bit of a sour note, but at the very least, we got an okay episode of Raw out of it. Y'all let me know what y'all comments or opinions or like of this episode of Raw. Stay tuned to the next one.